What's up, guys? Hito and Gracie here. I have, lately I've been saying something. I have this idea of something I call the Universal Misunderstanding. Okay, and this of course falls into Jiu-Jitsu. And what it is this, for example, when we see two people training Jiu-Jitsu, let's say that they were 50 yards away and you're watching them, and one person is on top, one's on the bottom, and he's in the guard on top. Naturally, when you see this, what do we think to ourselves is the question. Meaning, I'm watching these two people sparring, and what do I expect? You know, what do I want to see? And usually, what that is we think, okay, top person should pass the guard now, okay? And that is exactly what I call the universal misunderstanding of Jiu-Jitsu. And it's the same thing for the side control. The bottom person, top person's controlling. What we expect is what? Okay, the bottom person has to escape the side mount now. It's another example of a misunderstanding, which what I'm trying to get at is that we're confused as to what should happen next in many given positions. The mounted position. Okay, now, someone is on the bottom, someone's on top. The bottom person has to escape the mount. No, it's not how it works. Now, the reason why, of course, people want to escape these positions is why. And I believe it's because of points, and also we don't want to be tapped out. Because if I ask you another question, I ask you, what is a larger concern, a greater concern? Not getting tapped out or tapping somebody out. I believe most people don't want to get tapped out. First of all, they don't want to lose. Now, sometimes we might go for a submission because the sooner we finish somebody, the sooner we guarantee that we will not be defeated. So, going back to those positions, whatever it may be, guard, side mount, or mount, for example, those three main ones. The reason we pass the guard, we fight to pass the guard, is because we do not want to be submitted. We don't want to lose because we're in a defensive, we're in an inferior position. So because you don't want to lose, you rush to pass the guard. Now, I ask you another question. When you're in somebody's guard, are you more likely to be defeated if you sit still, keep posture, keep your hands on the inside, stay aware and observe your opponent, or if you have a certain pressure to pass the guard and escape and get out of there? Which one are you more likely to make a mistake in? Exactly. You're going to make a mistake when you put pressure on yourself to pass the guard. If you just sit there and watch your opponent, it's so much more difficult for them to surprise you. So, the misunderstanding is because Jiu-Jitsu is an art of survival, of self-defense. So, everybody out there, nobody wants to be tapped out, nobody wants to be defeated, but yet they act as if they want to be defeated. And I say this because if you really don't want to be defeated, you will do what is necessary to keep you the safest. And when it comes to the guard, that is posture. Hands on the biceps, hands on the stomach, head low, elbows tucked in. A number of things that can keep you safer than if you tell yourself, okay, I'm in the guard, I have to start passing the guard now. And that's exactly what I believe most people do. As soon as you fall in the guard, you say, okay, you know what? Time to pass the guard. But that's not true. As soon as you fall in the guard, it's not time to pass the guard. As soon as you fall in the guard, it's time to sit there and do nothing and just look at the person and ask them, invite them to attempt to submit you. They are on offense. They have to attack. Now, when you're in there, guard, and your elbows are tucked in, and they attack you, they're going to have a hell of a time tapping you because you're so aware. Okay? And when do you get tapped out? When you lack awareness. So, this is my advice to everybody. When you get side mounted on the bottom, the last thing you should think about is escaping the side mount. Okay? The last thing you should consider when somebody mounts you is escaping the mount. Because when you attempt to escape is when you give them an opening to attack. Okay? Now, you're asking the question, you're saying, Hidong, well, what if there's time, there's a clock, or what if there's points? And you're absolutely right. If there's time, you cannot waste time by just laying there because they're gonna win by points. So, tournaments do force more movement. Now, I don't have to tell you my view on tournaments, but I'm gonna tell you anyways. Who cares? Okay, if you're training Jiu-Jitsu to be the best in a tournament, that's okay. But I train Jiu-Jitsu to be the best with no time, no points. Just straight up grappling here or in the street. No time, no points. Now, or an event like Metamoris, which is not no time, but is no points with a good amount of time. Now, back to the problem of points in tournaments. When we are the offensive, aggressive person in a tournament and you pin somebody down, right? You get on top, you control the side mount. What do we expect when we're on top from the bottom person? What we expect is for them to panic, to bridge, twist, turn, and go crazy. Now, what that tells us is when the roles are reversed, before we reverse the roles, because we expect them to go crazy, when we're on top, what do we do when you're in a tournament or in MMA or anywhere? You focus on your control, on your position, right? On having good base and being wide and tight and low at the same time. So, using that information, anytime you end up on the bottom, you already know what your partner is expecting you to do. And your partner on top, your opponent, expects you on the bottom to do what? To fight, to twist, to turn, to go crazy. So what are they gonna do as soon as they land on top of you? They're gonna hold as tight as they can. They're gonna be as wide as they can and as ready as they can be to stop all of your escape attempts. Now, does it make sense? Does it seem efficient for you to try all of your best escapes when the top person is in 100% control mode? No. Not only is it not efficient, but it makes zero sense. But the reason why we do it is because we fear getting submitted. We don't want to lose. Once again, we fear submission more than we desire submission, defeating somebody. So, our fear makes us move. But now, if we bring the logic back into this talk right now, logically speaking, you are more susceptible to being submitted if you are fighting to escape than if you just keep your elbows tucked in and you once again use the powers of observation and just watch. And then when your opponent on top of you changes from control to offense, they loosen up their grips and their control of you, giving you a window to do your escape. This is it. This is Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. It's waiting for the right time. Now, the question is, you're thinking, man, well, I don't feel safe underneath somebody. Hidong, what do I do? Like, I don't even have the knowledge to survive and relax and wait for the right time. And the reason you don't is because you haven't been exposed to all of the possible submissions that the top person can throw at you. So the fear of what might happen makes you move. So now is where we have to keep it playful. And what that means is take the back seat and almost sit there and wait in practice and allow and observe and invite your training partner who's on top of you to attack you. Because what you want as a jiu-jitsu practitioner, whether you're a white belt, blue, purple, brown, or black, what do we want? We want to be comfortable in all positions. And how do you get comfortable? You have to have knowledge and you have to know what's out there and what can happen. So when somebody side mounts you the next time you're sparring, do not escape because you fear defeat. Stay there because you want nothing more than to be defeated. You love the idea of your partner tapping you out, because when they tap you, they're helping you build a greater understanding of how you can lose. So when the day comes where you do not want to lose and you want to escape, you are more familiar with what is out there, right? Allowing you to chill and wait and be aware and see the window of opportunity. And then when it comes time to escape, when you attempt one escape, you get it. One shot, one kill. There is no more trying 6, 7, 8 times to escape somebody's control. Okay? So you have to invest in this training, this way of training, of staying down there and inviting the submission and almost being excited. When you lose, there has to be, when you're tapped out, there has to be a level of excitement. Like, yes, either A, because you saw the mistake that you made. And the reason why you saw the mistake is because you were aware, meaning you weren't trying to escape and get off your back. You saw the escape because all you were trying to do was stay there and stay safe, which means all of your attention was right there in front of you, only focused on their attack and not what you might want to do, you know, escape-wise. So what happens is, once the day comes where you do have to get out, you're going to be ready. You're going to have, you know, an understanding of 25 possible submissions that can happen from the top. Okay? Nobody does this right now. I've been to hundreds and thousands of schools, and I have almost never, except for schools that are certified training centers, seen students laying on their backs, not moving, while somebody else attacks, and just defending. It's so rare, okay? And the reason why it's so rare is because when you lose, there's a good chance that somebody in the room, whether it's the instructor, another student, somebody congratulates the person that beat you. So you want that, right? You want that praise. You want to be told, congratulations, good arm lock or good submission. So what do? You, first of all, you want to avoid it so it doesn't happen, you know, at your expense. And then you want to defeat them so you can get a good job on your back. But let me tell you this, if you come here, I'm going to give you a pat on the back, and I'm going to say, good defense. Good job not fighting to escape off your back. Because that is so much more impressive that you can lay down and let somebody throw their 20 best submissions at you, their 5 best submissions, and you don't even move. And then who knows, that person that's on the side control, because they couldn't submit you, what do? They jump to the mounted position. They go to knee on stomach. They have given up in that position. And this can happen from everywhere. If you're in someone's guard, wouldn't it be nice if you can send the message to the bottom person that it's impossible for you to tap me? Once you send that message, how easy will it be to pass the guard? Or to escape their side mount? Or to escape their mount? Very easy. Thank you. This is why we keep it playful. We keep it playful because we want to prepare for the future. So if you do me a huge favor and keep it playful 1 day a week or 2 days a week, I guarantee you this journey to black belt should not take 10, 12, 14 years. It should take 6 years. But 6 years of very aware sparring. Final note, this whole keep it playful idea and this idea of being on your back and just laying there and defending. You're wondering, what about a street fight? Does this apply to a street fight? And the answer is absolutely, okay? Now, of course, there are different problems. In a street fight, you're not concerned with an arm lock or a gi choke. You're concerned mainly with maybe punches, elbows, knees, right? Let's say, for example, the bottom of the mount or the bottom of the side mount. So it's more about staying close and stopping their punches. But more importantly is if you're in a street fight, when they start punching you is the equivalent to when someone starts to choke you. So when someone starts to choke you in training is when they lose control and they give you an opportunity to escape. So in a street fight, if somebody mounts you and they're very low, very tight, very controlling, then what do? You chill. Because you don't want to fight, you don't want to resist what is. And what is that they're controlling you. So street fight, they're controlling, you chill. When they decide to punch you or kick you or elbow you or strangle you, then they have to change their position, right? Loosen up their control to attack. When they do that, that's when they leave you, once again, the window of opportunity that you need to escape. So you should train once a week wearing gloves and have the top person hold you down, control you, and be as ready as they can. And then you ask them, okay, begin to punch me now. Very lightly, 10% punch you. And notice how when they move to punches, they can't hold you with the same control that they had before, and therefore giving you opportunities to escape.